Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to today's edition of the afternoon edition. My name is Isa Nu. Today we shall be looking at the ministerial strides, most especially that of the FCT, and looking at the developmental strides in terms of infrastructural development within the FCT and what the minister is doing to make the FCT a better place for all. For so many persons that have come into the FCT that have not been resident before now, definitely coming into the town, you discover that there are a series of works going on, most especially the roads. Just recently also saw that even the vice presidential office was also is also almost done with respect to the infrastructural placement that is expected in that particular location. So many people have actually put up the fight that which of the minister is best, but then people have also contended the fact that the current minister of the FCT in person of Barrister Nyesom Wike has been doing good with respect to making sure that yes, we have good roads, and also having the needed lightning, most especially parts of Abuja where issues of maybe T-free and the rest of it happening at night. But let me take you through this snippet. If not, let me bring you up to speed with respect to this particular discussion we are going to be having today. The FCT minister is on a roll, and Abuja is undergoing a remarkable transformation into a modern, sustainable city. It's pretty exciting stuff. But let's dive into the nitty-gritty, starting with everyone's favorite topic, the roads. You know how we've all grumbled about the sorry state of Abuja before the coming of the present FCT minister. Well, the minister has been putting in some serious elbow grease to spruce things up. And when you look at issues that has to do with the road, you look at Asokoro, you look at the Central Business District, and then you also look at connecting bridges. For some time now, we've seen major works taking place in the FCT. And they say that is not just where the minister is going to stop. He's also looking at even in rural communities, how you can get them connected from Abaji to Kwali to Kuje and down to the central area, and also Buhari Area Council and Amak. But hold on there's more. The minister has set their sight on sustainable development to think about green building, harnessing renewable energies sources, and implementing eco-friendly waste management system. Abuja is definitely shaping itself back to those glorious days. We can't be in 2024 and then we are still talking about a minister that was there in the earlier 70s as being one of the major persons that transformed the city. There's need for the city to actually grow, and the potentials are there for the city to grow. And yeah, the cherry on top is that the new smart city project, yep, you heard it right, the minister's team is teaming up with Tech Wizard to build a state-of-the-art data-driven infrastructure, and this means smoother public services, beefed up security measures, and all around boost in her quality of life. So the minister is all about social development also, and you can also see that from the social activities taking place in the city, you've seen that there is a kind of streamlining of the way things happen. Even the way we perceive it in the past, we have now seen a vibrant social setting in the city. Before now, many people were afraid of going out at night, but then we now have a commissioner of police who is also up to the task, trying to see that yes, at night people can actually go out for that social gathering and return back home safely. So this is just part of what we'll be discussing today with our guest, Dr. Chinonso Stanley Ndukwe, who is here in the studio to tell us more about the developmental strides of the current FCT minister. Let's go for this break, and when we return, we continue with the conversation. Welcome back from that mark break, and just before the break, I did inform you where or what we'll be focusing on today, and as I did inform you, we have Dr. Stanley Chinonso. Doctor, good afternoon, and welcome to the afternoon edition.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nuhu.
It's been a while having you here on this particular station, because I know for some time it seems like you traveled out of the country, but thank God that you are back here today. Looking forward to the future now is one major issue, and we noticed that when the president was appointing ministers, he tried his best to see that yes, he placed round pegs in round holes. But now let us look at the FCT. Before I ask you my first question, what were your experiences in the past about the FCT before I ask my first question specifically on this particular new leadership that we have in the FCT.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nuhu. You know, I am very much attached to the FCT, and I served here as a copper. I was sent to NNPC to serve my fatherland, and I have been in the FCT since 2003. I understand the landscape, the political growth, and the economic social activities that happen here. Prior to the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we had an FCT that is absolutely low as regards road infrastructure. We had a couple of bad roads, we had a couple of flood-laden roads. We had spaces that were not well cleaned up, properly organized. We had streets, there were no street lights, and we had high level of insecurity. We had the issue of health problem, educational issues, a lot of dropouts and out of school children. And we had problems like that. But this current administration, I think, from what I'm seeing, there is hope. There are new things coming up. I think I'm ready for the conversation further.
Okay, what are some of these new things that you've noticed with this current administration?
You see, Barrister Nyesom Wike, like I said last year during our conversation, has interest in solid, concrete, hard development. And he did that also in Rivers State. The new things we are seeing today are cut across road infrastructure within the rural communities, Saburi, different areas in the FCT. So we have seen new roads in Asokoro, new roads in the 6 area councils within the FCT. The current minister has governed well as regards infrastructure, road infrastructure. Road infrastructure has improved in almost every part of the city. We see flyovers being completed quickly. We see road work ongoing. These are the kind of new things we are interested and we are pleased with. We have seen 5 years of debts paid to our workers. He has actually been able to utilize the budget of 4.1 trillion that is allocated to the FCT. He has been able to do some new things, and I believe there are also many more things to do.
Okay, one key aspect that you mentioned is the issue of road, and looking at the road infrastructure, what do you think he has really done to actually improve the phases of our road in the FCT?
We have had about 105 roads already touched within the FCT. We have seen new paintings, new roads. Maintenance are ongoing in places like Asokoro. There are maintenance going on in places like Saburi. There are different locations that are being rebuilt, refabricated, redesigned for not just the issue of to ease transportation, so also to improve aesthetics, because this is like the Washington of Nigeria. So I think the level of painting ongoing, the level of the beautification ongoing along our roads, and the issue of street lights that are being planted all over the place to make room for light in the night for road users is very, very encouraging. We have the building of the vice president being redesigned and maintained. He is absolutely interested in making sure the place is accessible, is beautiful enough to be called the Federal Capital Territory.
Okay, now moving forward, you just stated it. Looking at the road infrastructure that has been put in place by the FCT minister, one key aspect that people are also concerned about is that with the rate at which is going, people said the local government, what will they be doing? The local government, as a council area, how can they also support this particular stride of the FCT minister?
This is why the government, the FCT minister, should take a look at. There are 3 areas I want the FCT minister to take a look at, and those areas will bring in the council leaders, the local government chairman, to come in and be able to partner with him. For example, in his 1st of January commentary, he said that the FCT ministry that is targeted at improving infrastructure, social welfare, that is going to do sustainable development, going to be rural development and security. There are 5 major areas he wants to build on. There are fantastic areas. But I want the ministers to take a look at the issue of transport. Sustainable development without sustainable transport system is a huge problem. We need to bring in the Transport for London model, where we have buses, minimum 1,000 buses in the FCT, well-organized bus systems, buses that can use battery or hybrid facilities, hydrogen and battery, that are already installed in Japan, in South Korea, in Taiwan, and in China. Buses that are very good. Even Innocent can assemble that, because they already assembled such buses that can ease transportation within the FCT. Such buses can be planted in the 6 local government areas, the council areas, and then each council will be able to manage their own. For example, we may have Buhari Area Council bus transit system. We have the AMAC bus transit system. This will bring in their own efforts. They can also raise revenue from that. But giving them such a push will get them involved in making this Abuja a better place. Because we don't have strong and solid transport system in Abuja. It affects the workers, it affects road users, business people, market users. It has been a major challenge. Then another way also, an area that the FCT minister can involve the council is in the issue of agro-revolution. Because in his 5 agenda, he didn't include anything like agriculture. There should be involvement in agronomy, agro-revolution within the 6 area councils. Places like Abaji, for example, they have kilometers of land that is unused, uncultivated. Why can't the FCT run a program like, let's say, corn, millet, or cassava program in those areas, and involve the council heads to manage it with the minister supervising it, so we can produce our local food in the FCT. Most of the food we eat in the FCT are all brought in from outside of the state, from the rice, from the gari, from the yam. We don't have solid agro-revolution within the FCT, and that can change the socio-economic dynamics of this city, of this capital territory, if agro investment can be done. It's very, very crucial and urgent. Another area we can come in is to also create the 6 council waste management project. For example, in Singapore today, there are many cities in Singapore that are powered by waste. They have underground incinerator where every waste is carried to the incinerator. It is burnt, and as it's burning, it's creating energy, and the chaff is used to create blocks that are used to build sustainable cities all over the place. Every waste is incinerated. As the process of incineration, it creates power. There are enough waste in the FCT that can power all of the FCT. We're looking at ways to reduce the pressure on the national grid. This is an opportunity. The FCT have a lot of waste all over the place. So to involve our local government chairman to manage this kind of incinerators that can create power, generate power, create labor, also create other ways of building and improving our business and the construction sector. These are the areas they can get them involved. So they won't be isolated. They won't be like, so they won't be focusing on only roads alone. These are areas that can improve this city and make it a sustainable city. And like I said, it's what we call urban resilience. The city today, cities of today and the cities of tomorrow are cities that are focusing and investing on urban resilience. Urban resilience deals with urbanization that can last the test of time, that can withstand earthquakes, that can withstand the issue of bomb blast, that can withstand flood. I get me. Look at what happened in Dubai 3 weeks ago, because they don't have urban resilience. They never have planned for it. So the 4th area that I want to add is make this city urban resilient enough. Build drainage systems and get our local government people to manage it and also collect revenue from all these projects. These are ways to live with people and make sure that they are involved, and that will also go well for the city in the long run.
Okay, you've mentioned the issue of urban resilience.
Yes.
And looking at the way the fast development that is taking place in the FCT.
Yes.
Sometimes
yes.
We also have estate managers who sometimes default in terms of their action and the rest of it. And the minister has also warned that he's going to take action on those who are doing illegal business, especially in the real estate sector. But when you look at the way the city the master plan of this particular city, what do you think the minister will still have to consider in order to make this city a beautiful? I know you've mentioned the issue of urban resilience, you've mentioned the issue of transportation, you've also touched on agriculture. But then, the one key aspect that is always bedeviling a city like this is the issue of security, which he has also tried to see that, yes, you get a very good commissioner of police to manage it. But then still, you know, one way or the other, we have other issues. So what role do you think the local government chairman will have to play keenly to see that, yes, the commissioner cannot run every day. The policing system is not that too efficient. What do you think the minister will have to do to make it a better one?
Thank you for that beautiful question. You see, I have lived abroad and I have traveled wide. I have spent some time in Abu Dhabi, in Dubai, London, Liverpool, and Paris. One thing I know is that any city that wants to tackle crime, tackle human insecurity, must run on street policing. STREET, street policing. We don't have street policing in Nigeria. We don't have ambulances on streets. We don't have police officers patrolling with their barefoot or bicycles on streets. These are the problems we have. I have had someone close to me kidnapped before, and I had to go and pick that person at Masaka. No security anywhere. I went to the first house to go and look for her to trace the number. They gave me a number of someone that would trace the person. I called that person, the person was giving me that is now in Abuja. A whole police. Because we have not invested in infrastructure enough. First, there should be street policing. There should be digital infrastructure to tackle forensic activities, to trace kidnappers, to trace these people are doing one chance. If we have street police officers patrolling on the street, we won't have one chance. It will be hard for them. If we have street police officers, we won't have all these young boys that are shooting or kidnapping people on the road. These are the challenges we are having that must be solved. And we do not just need the council heads or the chairman to come in alone. We need the traditional rulers. Get them involved in the security issues. They can nominate their leaders, their vigilante people that can be trained and be adopted in the police system that can keep our citizens safe. Then thirdly, when we talk about the issue of the master plan, every master plan is subject to change. I am anti-demolition. This idea of political demolitionism that has bedeviled our country should be stopped. I saw the one that demolished the landmark, the demolition. Why do we do these things? Why do we don't have enough jobs and we're demolishing people's houses? In the FCT, I've had houses. Why demolish houses? The issue is, before a builder, real estate realtor builds on a place illegally, there must be a government officer that is involved. If you want to stop these problems, look at those government officers that are involved. Penalize them. Put them in life imprisonment. Put them to 5 years imprisonment. After that, nobody else will be able to collect any form of bribery to allow someone to build illegally. Why suffer the builder? The person that allowed him to build should be the person that you focus on. Once they are big, once they run ethical FCDA, ethical building infrastructure within the city, you see that people will not build illegally. Are you with me? So I believe that also the issue of structures in the FCT is not the only challenge we are having. The FCT has no proper green planning. It's what they call green leases. It's the future of sustainability today because of climate change and global warming. There should be green leases in the FCT. Green leases are fountains and orchards per every 3 kilometers, built in locations to reduce the heat in the city. It will reduce heat. It will reduce the issue of warming. It will also help us to offset the climate change problems we're having in the FCT. So we need to get involved who have done research in sustainability.
But we've done those facilities, or let me say, sorry, those infrastructure.
Yes. We
are there until you discover the indiscriminate buildings of houses and the rest of it like that.
Somebody allowed it. It was a government official. A staff of the FCD allowed it. There was somebody they bribed. So that those people are the people that will stop. When the builders can't see you to bribe, they won't build. So what we will do is to create further spaces. Since they are built already, create for us. You can redesign. There are spaces within the FCT. We can redesign them. Between here and Kwale, there are kilometers of land that we can turn into green places. Build orchards. Build. When we talk about green places, we're talking about fountains. When we have water flowing within at least a kilometer of trees, gigantic trees being built, that giving the atmosphere a cold air, giving us good oxygen. So the country needs to invest like other new cities of today. Places like Singapore, places like Taiwan, Taipei, they are investing in green revolution, making sure they have fountains around the cities that will create that greenery, that green atmosphere that will help us to withstand the global warming. Can't you see that the heat has increased because we are not planting enough trees? So the FCT minister should focus on green revolution. Plant better trees within the greenless infrastructure and help us offset the heat we are passing through right now.
Okay, now looking at the development, the way it is going currently in the FCT, and one key aspect that the minister is also looking at is how he can set up a situation, or let me not say a situation at this particular point in time, how he can set up the city in such a way that we won't have to complain in the future that, oh, this one bought this particular land, it was sold to this, it was sold to that. So invariably, you are stating that if the minister takes action on those who are responsible in terms of management of the city, things are going to change.
Of course.
But then now that we've seen that he recently appointed some persons to manage some of these key positions in the government, what do you think should be their major focus in terms of their major terms of reference as at this particular point in time? Okay. Knowing fully well that yes, they are coming in newly, some of them have expertise knowledge of this particular place. Yes. Don't you think they will still come back and then do the same thing?
No, they should be educated. They should be re-educated, because there are things that you know that you need to re-know or unknow. Unlearning process is involved. Is needed for this FCDA managers, people who are going to manage the infrastructure, the buildings, the designs. They should unlearn a lot of things. As per the issue of building better infrastructures, they should take a look at what they call sustainable building. They should look at the research right now. Any building that can last now and in the future, any building that you can use sustainable products, you can use products or raw materials that are environmentally friendly. These are the areas we're looking at. There are some buildings right now abroad that the roofs are solar roofs. You don't need external electricity. Forever, the properties will power itself forever. This is the future. Let's engage in such buildings in the infrastructure in Abuja. Let's bring in this new technology that can reduce our dependence on the national grid. Let us also look at the issue of structure. Make sure that the blocks, there should be policies today in our city. The blocks they use in building is very, very light. It's not solid. There's no proper, policies that are following up the block industries. They are making very fake, soft blocks that are not good for our housing. So we need to take a look at all those things. Inspect the cement production. The cement we're using, is it the best quality? Inspect the civil engineers. There should be inspections ongoing in every building, in every real estate, in every estate that have been building in Abuja. Improvement on inspection and saying zero tolerance to bribery will make structures in the FCT much more solid, more sustainable, and also make people begin to have hope in government.
Okay, now let us move to this particular issue, still on that issue of transportation, which you earlier stated. Looking at the connectivity with the placement of road, one key aspect that he has also looked into is the issue of train services, and which he ensured that yes, hopefully by May, of which I got information that as of this particular point in time, everything is set. I'm just waiting for the president to commission it. How do you see the train service being a major game changer in all this?
The train service is a very good one. It's going to improve transportation, to improve mobility. But currently, we need more than a train station, because the train networks are not all-encompassing. They're not very comprehensive. That's why I suggested for a bus transport system to complement the train system. If if it had to be a tube system, an underground tube system that causes every from the Wuse Market straight to Otako Market, straight to Jabi, to the airport, to those who are going to Life Camp, then the one going straight to Kubwa, straight to Day, straight to Zuba. The one, if there's an underground tube system that connects to almost every bus stop within the city and then outside of the city, that would be very much fruitful. That would be better. But then the strong network we have is not solid enough. It doesn't cover a lot of grounds. That's the challenge we're going to have. And also the issue of the train system is something that needs a complementary system, a bus system and a tube system. They are very crucial in the FCT, the bus system and a tube system. And I think right now, after commissioning that train system, it will ease transportation because it's much cheaper. It is transportation, but the issue that it didn't cover a lot of spaces, a lot of bus stops, a lot of locations, and that's the challenges we are going to have.
Well, when it comes to the issue of the bus, I don't think we have enough bus.
We don't have a formidable, we don't have a comprehensive bus system within the FCT.
So what do you think should change with respect to that?
Sit down, look at the model, look at the Transport for London model, for example. Is the best among the best in the world. It has stood the test of time. It's a 3-minute system. I'm going to leave this place instead of driving to this place. There should be a bus stopping at this gate. There's a bus taking me today. There's a bus, and it's 24 hours bus system, highly secured with CCTV connected to the police. Any crime within the bus, the police speaks it immediately. So it's much more better. It's more effective. We need bus systems that are 24 hours. So that this is the capital territory. People don't sleep in Dubai. People can go to shops, malls in Dubai. That's why they have 100 million people coming to Dubai every year. How many people come to the Abuja for tourism, for business? That's why our airport is not producing enough. Because we don't have a bus system, we don't have tourist centers, we don't have real infrastructure for tourism. But we have Zuma Rock here. We have different locations within the FCT, different rocks, different centers. We can't even create an artificial beach like they've done in London, because this place should be making billions from infrastructure, from tourism, from hospitality. We have hotels here, but we don't have them. They're not well marketed because we don't have businesses. We don't have carnivals in the FCT. We don't have proper transport systems in the FCT. A lot of people can come to this FCT. They say hire Land Cruisers or hire cars. Why can't we have a strong, solid system that can transport tourists to the destination stresslessly, cheaply, transport workers to the city? Because the price of fare today is very high in the country, and the FCT should lead by example in building a TL type of model of transport system, a bus system that is affordable, that is sustainable, and that is very much accessible for anybody. Anybody in the city can go on the bus with 10 naira, with 20 naira, because the buses are powered by electricity. They are powered by battery system. They're not powered by petrol system, and they should be accessible even at night with highly secure systems, and that will create jobs. If we have 500 of them, that will create jobs for 500 people, and their mechanics will be employed. The people washing to be employed. It will create jobs in the FCT and reduce the stress we have in transportation.
Now that you've mentioned the word job, FCT have enough, just so much numbers of youth within the city across the 6 area council. Looking at the numbers of youth that we have, what are the kind of programs you think the minister have to put in place to see that yes, these youths are engaged so that they will not be nuisance to the society?
I want the FCT minister to listen attentively today. The 2 major challenges of the FCT today is education and unemployment. The high level of unemployment in the city is excruciating because the FCT does not have enough factories. We don't have government-powered skill acquisition centers where we can get our young people engaged in, for example, digital skills acquisition center, where they can learn how to create apps, how to create laptops, build laptops, how to build phones, We should have such digital acquisition centers where they can acquire digital skills in numbers that can accommodate 5,000 people every week. Program that can, because this is the digital economy we have today. People can make billions online, creating content on YouTube, creating content on X, creating content. We need to get plugged in like India has done in this digital economic space. Then we should have the issue of the engineering sector, for example. We need to teach our young people on mechanics, create better mechanic engineers. We don't have good ones in the FCT. We need to create centers where these young people can be trained on how to fix cars, fix tricycles, fix motorcycles, fix the buses, even the trains. They should create where they can be fixed today on time. A lot of people need to learn the best way, the better way to do all these jobs. Carpentry, furniture, we say import furniture, because we don't have proper centers where we can turn them the best way of making furniture. What about the issue of shoe factories? We don't have shoe factories in the FCT. Most of the shoes being made away in the FCT are imported. Why can't we have the factory where we can make fashion, make belts, make shoes, make our better clothes, the best quality, bring people from Turkey, train them locally here, bring people from Aba, build them here so that FCT can be self-sufficient in terms of fashion. The way about the issue of building, we don't have, take a look at the buildings they have in the Republic and the Republic. We need to build such centers, skills, because this is we are in a skill revolution economy. That's what is wrong with our education. Our education is what we call skill poverty. It suffers skill poverty. In our universities today, we don't even train our young people on how to acquire the best skills, because skills is what will feed you. Public speaking skills, teaching skills, how to baking skills, tailoring skills, soap making skills. These are the kind of skills that can make you survive. If you take a look at studied businesses, I have studied businesses, for example. If they tell you how much they make in Coca-Cola in a year within Nigeria, you marvel. Then you understand why we should train our people on how to make our own drinks locally, how to make the best tiger nut drinks, how to make the best orange juice. Go to the places like Benue State. They waste fruits. Why can't we have our own orchards? The FCT, we should be able to make our own drinks within the FCT. These are things that can create jobs. These are things that can improve our IGR. Already the FCT minister did well for removing the FCT ministry, the FCT from the TSA. Now that means the IGR will generate here. We are using it here. Imagine if you have 25 factories more that can generate billions in IGR. We have more to create labor. We need to create jobs for our people, because our youths are highly unemployed. Then divert education in the areas I've talked about. You will see this place will begin to become lively, become better, because when people are employed, it is hard for them to get involved in crime. The high level of insecurity in the FCT is because of unemployment. You see the issue of kidnapping, one chance, what we are facing here, because we don't have enough jobs in the FCT. We don't have factories. Imagine if FCT can sign a deal with Nokia, public-private partnership, and Nokia makes the phone here in the FCT. Most of the phones we buy here are unimported. Make phones locally here. Power a plant that is solar powered. Make locally. Employ 10,000 youths that make our local phones here. That will make FCT a vibrant economy.
Indeed, Doctor, you've spoken well, but then still, we're going on a very short break, and when we return, we'll continue with Dr. Chinonso Stanley Ndukwe on this particular issue, the strides of the particular minister of FCT, which so many Nigerians are also applauding him with respect to his road infrastructure. And the doctor has also stated so much, looking at his strength and probably where he needs to put more effort in, and that aspect is transportation, of which many civil servants actually had issues with, as at when the cost of fuel increases. So we'll go on this break, and when we return, we continue the conversation. Welcome back from the break, and still with us here is Dr. Stanley Chinonso Ndukwe. We've been discussing issues that borders on the FCT and the strides of this particular minister, and that's Barrister Nyesom Wike. So many issues, but then still we are restricting ourselves because we cannot discuss all exhaustively. But now let us look at the issue of health in the FCT. Health and education, these are two key components that we all feel that the minister should also look into. How do you see him, most especially education, how do you see him addressing the issues that is surrounding education? How can he make it better for the people of the FCT?
I'm very interested in education. I'm already working on a documentary that deals with both education and the issue of food production and marketing within the FCT, particularly the fish sector. The FCT minister should begin to visit schools and compare the principals and the heads of schools to make sure that they disengage from still charging students for registration. We are running on a free education from primary school to the JS3, for example. There should be on no ground should you charge students over 50,000 naira for registration. Our organization, for example, Sterling Poultry Farms, we are trying to do our social responsibility to train some of kids within the community we are in Kaduna Road. And we try to make a research for the schools. We realize that they are charging us over 50,000 to register students. These are the things that's why we have a lot of out of school children in the FCT today. There are still out of school children engaged in hawking in the FCT today. I have met a lot. So the FCT minister should do on a drive on ensuring that every child in the FCT gets admitted into primary and secondary schools freely without any form of discouragement. The FCT minister should also invest in libraries. Most of the schools don't have functional libraries. I am asking and pleading with the FCT minister to do well to get involved in the building of libraries in the schools. If you cannot fund it, get companies that can fund it. We should have libraries, both traditional libraries and digital libraries in the primary schools and secondary schools. That will inculcate in our kids that reading culture that can make them more innovative, make them more creative, and make them better citizens of the country, of our good and beloved country, Nigeria. Then also on the issue of health, health is crucial, and the source of ill health is food. If you visit the fish market, for example in Kado, you will marvel. I currently consult for the fish cooperative in Nigeria. We have 11 million members, and the higher number of women who are members are from Benue State. If you go to their section in Makurdi, you will shed tears. Kado, you will shed tears. Go to Musa Market, see where the fishes are organized, are cleaned up. You know that we need serious intervention on health. Health works with food. There should be serious work on all the markets to ensure that the food they are giving us is not unhealthy. It's not organized or cleaned in a very, very dirty environment. Then the issue of also primary health care centers, secondary health care centers, the government should get involved with this. I have gone to done a little program to visit some of these places. They don't even have generator. At night, our health centers are locked. Many of the health centers are locked at night. This is unfortunate. The FCT minister should look towards recalibrating, revamping the primary health care center in the FCT to ensure that everybody at work make sure he comes at duty at night. I have a son. His name is Shiloh England. We gave it to him by 2 a.m. in the night in a primary health care center. I can assure you that there was only a nurse there. I helped. There was no light. There was no nothing. We were supposed to rush to the hospital, but the challenge was that if you get to it was God that gave us that helped us that day. I am telling you this. Our healthcare systems are very poor in the FCT. We don't have well-trained nurses. We don't have subvention for the nurses. So the minister should look at what to do to support, because we have what we call brain drain. Most of the nurses, most of the doctors within the FCT are traveling abroad. So there should be incentive to make them stay. Support them. Go from primary health care, make sure that we have access to healthcare at night. Support. Make sure we have provision for example, for tests, laboratory, provision in primary health centers, and also places for like scanning, for X-rays. We don't have them in our centers, and we should be able to have them. It will cost much. It will save life and make FCT citizens much more patriotic. When the FCT minister works on issue of health, on this education, added to what he's doing in the road infrastructure, is going to be the best. I saw an article recently, that today or thereabout, where someone wrote and asked the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to retain him for the next term, because he is interested in making this place a better place. Let him, what we do is to let him add more as regards both agriculture, both technology, both healthcare, and the issue of transportation. That will give him that needed name as a political figure in Nigeria.
Okay, looking at one issue before we round up, this is just the last question. What do you think, or with respect to how he should position the library? Because myself, I do find it very difficult to even locate the library. Most of the times, if I want to make research, if I want to do research, I definitely have to go to the Public Service Institute library. So how do you see him positioning this particular aspect of our educational system? Is it that all schools, secondary schools, should have their libraries, or all schools, or how do you see him making that work?
The minister can sit down with experts. The first thing is to do what they call an FCT library, digital library. It won't take a year. Highest within 6 months, a digital library that every citizen of FCT can access. Just go to the library authority, they'll give you a number. You go online, put your number. You can access any book you want online. Digital library. Click it to open up a website where they can load books for research, books for children, books for section for children. That can, even books for children will be there. Books for children's schools, book for WAEC, book for JAM. They can be accessed digitally. Once you can get the card, then you go to their website, collect, people your name, within a day or two, they reply and give you a number to access books. Then also build it, because what you see, some people don't have access to digital systems. Build it in places that are strategic. Somewhere like Wuse Market, there should be a place that the FCT can acquire. Build standard library close to the market there.
Close to the market.
But yeah, it's easy to be located. There are two now, but they are very far. There are two. Go to a place like Gariki, get a standard location, build a standard library in this city. In the UK, in London, there's a place they call Canada Water. If you see the library, it's more beautiful than most hotels in Nigeria. They call it Canada Water Library. Massive place. There's a place for sit out 1,500 people can sit down and have a conversation. Books, current books, they keep reading the books. Fantastic library officers. They can attend to you whatever you want. They can make sure they get you the books, get the catalogs, help you search for the books. These are countries that understand knowledge. Without knowledge, there is no power. There's no growth. Our young women, our young children, our young girls, our young boys should be engaged by strategic libraries in different locations within the FCT. Let every council have at least 50 libraries. Let that be a project that will mark him out. Formerly, he was the Minister of State for Education, so you understand the importance of education. When you are educated, you are liberated. And when you are liberated, you are enlightened. And when you are enlightened, you become a better citizen, productive, and very, very valuable to the world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Stanley Chinonso Ndukwe, for joining us today on this edition of the afternoon edition. It's nice. I'm happy that you are boiling, because this aspect, you have passion for it, which is education. And I know the minister definitely will be listening and definitely will take cues from our conversation this afternoon. This is how we can go today on the afternoon edition, discussing with Dr. Stanley Chinonso Ndukwe. He is a major educationist, and he's also a writer, a researcher, and also a propaganda. Let me not use that word. A propaganda for good governance. A propagandist for good governance. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. Nuhu. Thank you.